Did you know that your Mac is secretly costing you days of productivity each year? Today we're exposing the hidden thieves and how to stop them.
Do you ever feel like your Mac is secretly, slowing you down? Like, what if even the tiniest, most repetitive things you do, those little clicks, are actually costing you hours, like real hours?
Yeah, adding up to days over a year is kind of crazy when you think about it.
Totally. So today we're doing one of our deep dives.
We're focusing on takeaways from the Macpreneur podcast, specifically episodes 58, 59, and 60. Think of us as helping you sift through Damien's insights on what he calls the 3 killers of Mac productivity.
The 3 killers, I like that. And they are unnecessary clicks, repetitive typing, and just file clutter, right? There's a mess everywhere.
Yep, those are the ones. And Damien argues they're not just small annoyances, they're silent productivity drains.
But the good news is, we're not just pointing fingers at the problem. We've got solutions, practical stuff, straight from Damien.
Okay, let's jump in then. First killer, paying those unnecessary clicks. Damien really digs into this in episode 58.
Yeah, he talks about how they just accumulate. It's not something you notice day to day.
Exactly. He even tracked his own mouse miles. The data's pretty startling.
It really is. So in the first 3 months, this is from macpreneur.com/episode 58, he tracked over 23,000 clicks.
23,000.
And get this, 4 kilometers, that's like 2.8 miles of just moving the cursor around.
Wow.
And he figured that cost him about 18 hours.
18 hours just moving a mouse.
And then he updated it. In episode 59, just 2 months later, it was up to 36,000 clicks and 6.7 kilometers, 4.2 miles, almost 29 hours lost in 5 months.
Okay, that's significant. It makes you realize it's not just the click, is it?
No, it's the thinking, the looking, the tiny hesitation, the UI lag, all those little micro moments.
Precisely. Every second you spend thinking, where do I click? Or dragging that pointer. It's time you're not doing something else. It's like this hidden tax on your focus.
A hidden tax. I like that. So how do we fight this tax? Damien says start with what's already built into macOS.
Right, the low-hanging fruit. And the biggest one, keyboard shortcuts.
Yeah, it seems basic, but so underused beyond the absolute essentials. We all know Command-C, Command-V.
Sure, but Damien highlights others, like Command Space for Spotlight. Most people use it for launching apps, right?
Yeah, mainly.
But he emphasizes using it to find anything. Files, contacts, specific emails. It's about shifting how you interact, using the keyboard first.
That makes sense. Get your fingers doing the work instead of the mouse.
And building on that, in episode 59, he talks about more shortcuts. Command-Q to quit any app instantly. Shift Command-N for a new folder and finder. Little things that become muscle memory.
What about Quick Look?
Yes. Spacebar for Quick Look. Then you can use the arrow keys to flick through previews without opening anything. Huge time saver when you're sorting files.
Okay, so how do you find more of these shortcuts? Sometimes they feel hidden.
Well, you can often see them right in the app menus next to the commands.
True.
Or there's a neat little free utility Damien mentions called KeyClue. That's Keyclu.
KeyClue. How does that work?
You just press the command key twice and hold it. A little panel pops up showing the shortcuts for whatever app you're in. Super handy.
Nice. And didn't Damien make a cheat sheet too?
He did. 40 essential shortcuts. You can get it free, no email needed, at macpreneur.com/KS.
Cool, we'll link that. Okay, what else for clicks? Built-in stuff.
Folder pinning and finder. This is discussed in both 58 and 59. Super simple, super effective.
The sidebar favorites?
Exactly. Instead of clicking through folders, you just drag your most used ones right into the favorite section. Instant access.
And the kicker, Damien points out, is they show up in open and save dialog boxes too.
Right. So when you save a file or attach something, your main folders are right there. No more digging.
Love that. Okay, what if a command doesn't have a shortcut?
Well, macOS lets you make your own. This is also in episode 59. Custom app shortcuts.
Really? You can just assign your own?
Yep, for actions without one, or even to change existing ones if you prefer something else.
So how does that work? Where do you find it?
It's in System Settings. Just go to Keyboard, then Keyboard Shortcuts, then App Shortcuts. You pick the app, type the exact menu command name, and assign your key combo.
Did Damien give examples?
Yeah, he set up Shift Command S for strike-through in Notes because it didn't have one.
Okay, practical.
And he even tweaked the print dialog. He made Command P mean save as PDF when he's already in the print window. Saves a step.
Clever. Okay, moving on from shortcuts. What else?
Mission Control, also episode 59. If you have lots of windows open, this is like your air traffic control view.
Yeah, the overview of everything. How do you trigger that again?
F3 key is standard. Or control up arrow. Or gestures double tap with 2 fingers on a magic mouse. Swipe up with 3 on a trackpad.
Right. Might need to enable those gestures and settings first, though.
Good point, yeah. Check your trackpad or mouse settings.
And one more built-in trick. Hot corners. Episode 59 again.
Yep, hot corners. Move your cursor to a corner, trigger an action. By default, bottom right is often quick note.
But you can change them, right?
Totally. Put mission control there, show the desktop, launchpad. Damien changed his bottom right to put display to sleep. Quick lock when stepping away.
Smart. Where do you customize those?
System settings again. Under desktop and dock, look for the hot corners button.
Okay, those are some solid built-in options. But Damien also talks about third-party apps in episode 60, right? For taking it further.
Oh, yeah. Some powerful stuff. Quick warning, though. Some window management features can clash, so test them one by one.
Got it. What's first?
Raycast. Damien calls it Spotlight on steroids. And a lot of its best stuff is free.
Better than Spotlight.
Well, it does the basics, like Spotlight launching apps, calculations. Damien even used it to convert his mouse miles, remember, kilometers to mile.
Right.
But Raycast is extensible. It has built-in things like clipboard history, window management. But then there's this huge library of over 1,100 community extensions.
1,100? Like what?
Search DuckDuckGo, grab a color hex code, check your internet speed, translate text, run a GPT prompt, tons of stuff. All from the keyboard.
Whoa. So it pulls lots of little tasks into one place.
Exactly. Reduces context switching. And you can set your own shortcuts for window resizing, like half screen, quarter screen, whatever you need.
Does it cost anything? Any catches?
The core is free. Some advanced extensions, like maybe for ChatGPT or image search sites, might need API keys, which sometimes link to paid services for those platforms.
Okay.
Raycast does have a pro version with unlimited clipboard history, syncing settings, and their own AI features, starting around $10 a month. But Damien stresses he's perfectly happy with the free version.
Good to know. What's next after Raycast?
Moom. This one's focused purely on window management. It's $10 once after a free trial.
What does Moom do that macOS doesn't?
Its big thing is overriding the green zoom button. It gives you options for horizontal splits, top, bottom half, not just the standard vertical side-by-side.
Okay. Useful for some workflows.
But the real power, Damien says, is custom layouts.
Yeah.
You can arrange multiple windows exactly how you want them.
Like for a specific task.
Yeah. Damien has one for his B&I meetings. Slack here, OneNote there, Zoom, PowerPoint, all perfectly sized and positioned. Assign a shortcut, hit it, and boom, everything snaps into place.
That sounds incredibly useful. Save setup time.
Totally. It also has snap to edges, like Windows drag a window to the side, it fills half the screen. Just watch out for conflicts with hot corners or multiple desktops.
Gotcha. Okay, one more big tool.
The big one, BetterTouchTool. Damien calls it the Swiss Army knife. It's in episode 60 too, and he says it can tackle all 3 productivity killers.
All 3. Clicks, typing, and files.
It's insanely versatile. You trigger actions using, well, almost anything. Custom trackpad gestures, keyboard shortcuts, touch bar, even your iPhone as a remote.
Gestures are interesting, like 3-finger tap does X.
Exactly. But it goes further. You can chain actions. A single trigger could open specific files, launch apps, resize their windows, run a sequence of keyboard shortcuts.
Yeah.
Even trigger full automator or shortcuts workflows.
Wow, okay. That sounds powerful, maybe a bit complex.
It can be, but you can start simple. There's a 45-day free trial. Then it's about $10 for 2 years of updates or $22 lifetime. Or, Damien points out, it's included in a set app subscription. That's SETAPP. It starts around $10 a month.
Set app. Okay, good to know. And links for all these are at macpreneur.com/episode 60.
Yep, all there.
Okay, let's switch gears. Killer number 2, repetitive typing. This was back in episode 58.
Right, the silent killer. We type the same stuff over and over. Email replies, addresses, code snippets, prompts.
Even if you type fast, it's still repetitive.
Exactly. And that's where macOS's built-in text replacement comes in. Damien claims it can make you type 10 times faster.
10 times? How?
It's simple. You set up short abbreviations that expand into longer text.
Where do you find that again?
System settings, under keyboard, then there's a text replacement button now in Ventura and later. Older macOS versions had it under keyboard text tab.
Okay, so like type expands to on my way.
Exactly. That's maybe 3x faster.
Yeah.
But Damien's pro tip is for long text. Copy paragraphs from notes or wherever. Paste that whole block into the replace with field. Then assign a short snippet, like maybe SIG for your full email signature or intro for a standard opening paragraph.
Whoa. So a few keystrokes could spit out hundreds of words.
Potentially. That's where the 30x or even 100x speed increase comes from. Just remember, it doesn't keep formatting, no bold, no bullets.
Still, that's huge for standard responses or templates. Does Damien cover this more?
He mentions planning a deeper dive in episode 61.
Okay, good. Now, killer number 3, file clutter. Also episode 58, the messy desktop, the overflowing downloads.
Ugh, yes. It's not just about losing time searching. It's mental clutter, too. Distracting.
Damien had some diagnostic questions, right? Like, does it take you more than 30 seconds to find a file?
Yeah. Or, do you have over 100 files and downloads? Is your desktop a disaster zone? If yes, listen up.
So what are the fixes, starting with the desktop?
Easiest fix. Stacks. Right-click the desktop, choose Use Stacks, boom, files grouped by type. Instantly tidier.
Okay, that's super simple. What if you want custom groups?
Just drag select a bunch of files, right-click the selection, choose new folder with selection, quick manual grouping.
Good tip. What about screenshots? They always land on my desktop.
The tyranny of the default, as Damien calls it. You can change that. Press Command-Shift-5, click Options. You can choose a different default folder, maybe make a dedicated screenshots folder.
Or put it in cloud storage.
Definitely recommend that. Create a folder in Dropbox, iCloud Drive, Google Drive. Access them anywhere.
Smart. Okay, the final boss. The downloads folder.
The downloads folder, yeah. Same grouping trick applies. Shift-click to select a range, right-click, new folder with selection.
Or use Finder's grouping feature.
Yep, that little button with squares and lines. Group by kind or date added or date last opened. Helps sort visually.
But how do you stop it getting overwhelmed in the first place?
Change the default. Go into Safari settings, Command, comma. On the General tab, you can set a different download location.
Like a specific incoming folder?
Could do. Or Damien highlights the Ask Every Time option.
So Safari forces you to decide where each file goes before downloading.
Exactly. It prevents that mindless dumping into download, takes a second longer up front, saves cleanup later.
And again, maybe make that download folder a cloud folder.
Makes sense for access across devices, yeah.
Yeah.
And Damien hints he'll cover more file management in episode 61, too.
Okay. Now, briefly, Damien also mentioned Ninja Solutions back in episode 58. Tools that hit all 3 killers.
Yeah, things that automate across clicks, typing, and file management. We talked about BetterTouchTool already.
Right, the Swiss Army knife.
He also mentions native stuff like Automator and Shortcuts, plus other third-party powerhouses like Keyboard Maestro and Hazel, even physical things like the Elgato Stream Deck.
So the idea is one trigger, a shortcut, a gesture, a button press, kicks off a whole chain of actions.
Exactly. Launch apps, position windows, paste text, move files, all at once. That's the ninja level, making your Mac work for you automatically.
It really drives home that your Mac is more than just, well, a computer. It's an engine you can fine-tune.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's wrap this deep dive up. We've looked at Damien's 3 productivity killers: clicks, typing, and clutter.
And we covered a ton of solutions. Built-in macOS features like shortcuts, folder pinning, mission control, hot corners, text replacement stacks.
Plus powerful third-party apps like Raycast, Moom, and BetterTouchTool to really level up your efficiency.
It's amazing how much time is potentially hiding in those small everyday interactions.
So here's something to think about. What's that one small, repetitive thing you do every single day on your Mac? Now that you've heard all this from Damien, what's the very first thing you're going to try this week to automate or streamline it? How can you get those minutes back?
Yeah, pick one thing. Start small.
And if you want to figure out where your biggest time sinks might be, Damien actually put together a quiz.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you can find out your Mac productivity score. Just go to macpreneur.com/score. That's SCORE.
Nice. A good starting point to see where you stand. Definitely worth checking out.
I'm back. In the next episode, the AI audio overview will revisit 3 more episodes of Season 2 aimed at helping you minimize repetitive typing. So make sure to subscribe or follow this podcast to get it automatically next week. And until next time, I'm Damien Schreurs, wishing you a great day.
Thank you for watching the Macpreneur podcast. If you've enjoyed the show, please leave a comment and share it with a friend right now.